Today we got the most overrated and underrated fighters in every weight class in the UFC. And let me clarify before we get into this. Just because a guy I believe is overrated or underrated doesn't make them good or bad. Kicking off for Bantamweight, we have Chito Vera being overrated and Jose Aldo being underrated. Alright, to start with Chito Vera, I'll just say it right now. This dude fucking sucks. Going into that fight with O'Malley, I don't understand how anybody on the fucking earth was picking him. I had O'Malley whooping his ass for 5 minutes and not being able to finish him. Shocker. I mean, this dude's honestly on a losing skid. He got his first true elite test with Corey Sandhagen, and he got his ass whooped for 5 rounds. Just got fucking abused for 5 rounds. That was a split decision, but those judges, that one judge who gave it to Chito Vera, that was probably one of the worst fucking picks in UFC history. Chito fucking did nothing, and he got his ass whooped. Then he had a fight with Pedro Munoz, who was the number 10 ranked guy, and he fucking lost. I know on paper he won, but I'm telling you, if you watch that fight, you'll know that Chito got his ass whooped. 14 out of the 17 media members who scored that had it for Munoz. Most people had it for Munoz. Watching it, I had it for Munoz. And it was just like, this guy, his whole game plan is just, let me eat your shot and pray I can land a bomb on you. That's his whole fucking gist. And Chito isn't horrible. It's not like I'm saying that, but I'm telling you, anybody in the top 5 of 135 is just going to clean this dude out. His ranking is way too high. And the only reason why he's even ranked so high is because they didn't want to embarrass O'Malley by having the number 8 guy fight for a title. And for the underrated, I have Jose Aldo. A lot of people are counting him out because he's old and stuff and he retired and he came back, but he's only 37. He's like the same age as Volk. And I know 37 is a little bit older for the lighter weight classes, but I'm telling you, it's still not that old. Plenty of elite guys at 37. And part of the reason why I think Jose Aldo is so deadly, if you are a grappler, you are fucked going against him unless your name's Merab. And even Merab in their fight, he went 0 for 16 on takedowns. He couldn't land a single fucking takedown on Jose Aldo. So instead, he had to just fucking try and push him against the fence and honestly just kind of stink his way up to a decision. Like, I'll tell you this right now, if Jose Aldo and Henry Cejudo fight, I'm taking Jose Aldo any day because it looks like he hasn't lost any speed. He's looking just as crisp, just as powerful as when he'd be in his... And against a guy like Umar, who's basically in the eyes of the UFC up there with Corey Sandhagen because they're fighting, I think Jose Aldo would put a beating on Umar because I don't think he'd be able to take him down. Like, Jose Aldo literally has like the best takedown defense of all time, bro. Like, this shit's crazy. Like, the only guys I think he loses to are Merab, even though he's a grappler, just because Merab's like a fucking freak. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with that guy. Because even if he's shooting takedowns and failing, he has the cardio to just swing all fucking night. Yeah, outside of like the elite of the elite, like Merab, Sean, Jan, like those are the only guys who I see actually just convincingly beating him. Everyone else, including Chito Vera, I'll just say this right now. If Aldo and Chito Vera fought, he would put a fucking beating on Vera and win a decision, bro. All right, on to Featherweight, 145. We have Yair Rodriguez being overrated and Aljamain Sterling being underrated. All right, let me just start with Yair by saying he's one of my favorite fighters. I actually really like Yair. But let me just say this right now. Yair Rodriguez is cooked. He's not ever going to win a fucking UFC title. And want to know why? He's 31, 32. He's been in the UFC a decade, and he hasn't developed any form of fucking ground game. I'm telling you, once you get this guy down, and it's not hard to get down at all. You know, you just saw it with Ortega. You saw it with Volk. Like, these guys just take him down at will. And once he's on the ground, bro, he's fucking helpless. He's helpless. He's fucking like a white belt out there. And that sucks because he's probably one of the most entertaining strikers ever. He has these crazy kicks, super fucking flexible, super agile, can throw the kitchen sink at you, has decent power, but you know, and the thing is, you don't even need to have good takedowns to get him down. You can literally just out-muscle him. Once you get in the clinch, just kind of bully him towards the fence, work him, and you just he can't stop it at all. He's going to the ground. Once he does, he's fucked. Like, unless you're fighting a guy with a complete glass chin that you can just one shot going in, which he almost do with Brian Ortega, but Brian Ortega has a decent chin and he's not too powerful. It's like he's fucked, dude. He has to one shot a guy before he gets anywhere near him or he's just cooked. Like Brian Ortega, who literally probably had 3 concussions in a fucking 10-second span, survived and then just bullied him for the rest of the fight. All right, and for underrated, I have Aljamain Sterling, which people might hate on, but let me just say this right now. A lot of people think just because he's going up to featherweight, he can't compete with the best of the best, and I think that's just completely wrong. Like, for example, in a guy like fucking Yair, Aljo would take this dude and fuck him, bro. He would beat him like he owed him money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. Aljamain actually has underrated striking. Like, it's not good, but people think he's solely a grappler. No, he has actually really crisp leg kicks. He was fucking up Cejudo's legs. And if you're not a guy like Sean with elite takedown defense, he's going to get you down. He's 100% going to get you down. And honestly, from there, Aljo's a good grappler, really good grappler. He's good at taking back. Obviously, his nickname's the fucking backpack or whatever. And even then, he can actually get in good positions, you know, to get ground and pound. He can get into mount and shit like that. Like, Aljamain will definitely have a good place in the top 5 because, like, a guy like Movsar Evloev, who fucking just sucks, robbed Arnold Allen, boy, Aljo would destroy that dude. And even if it's by decision, he doesn't have a chance, bro. And another thing you'll kind of notice throughout this list, like, some of the guys who are underrated can be in the top 5 if I think they're underrated, or an overrated guy can even be fucking a guy ranked number 10. If I think he shouldn't even be ranked, he's overrated to me. And that's like Aljamain Sterling. I think he's ranked barely in the top 10, like maybe like 9 or 8th. Right with a guy like fucking Giga Chikadze, who, like, you know what I'm saying? Aljo would just run through. That's my thing. And because another thing, like, no one thought this dude, and a lot of people I heard just, like, didn't think he'd be able to compete at 145 because, you know, like a weight bully, he's just muscles guy. Like, no, he has good technique, and his like, strength's carrying over. Obviously, it's less, but, like, it's not, like, fucking non. All right, 155, we got Mateus Gamrot, Scamrot, overrated, and Michael Chandler's underrated. Come on now. All right, let's kick it off with Gamrot. I'll just say this right now. Credit where credit's due. He has the best pure wrestling in the lightweight division. But does that wrestling really mean much when you can't get to fucking positions and you have no ability to fucking sub a guy? Not really, you know what I'm saying? Gamrot, I call him Scamrot because he's a fucking fraud. This dude, he just fucking wet blankets. If you want to talk about a boring fighter, Mateus Gamrot might be the most fucking boring fighter. He has decent striking, you know what I'm saying? He can hang there outside of like the top 5. Once you get into that top 5 with guys with elite hands, he's getting knocked the fuck out. Like, I've been hearing a lot of hype about Charles Oliveira versus Scamrot. Dude, Charles Oliveira would fucking chin this dude, absolutely chin him, because he can't take him to the ground. Charles would fuck him up. He doesn't have good jiu-jitsu at all. And, like, when I talk about this dude gets chinned, he's actually chinny as fuck. He's gotten knocked down in all of his last 5 fights, except for Fiziev, who got fucking the freak, blew out his knee. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude was actually getting chinned, knocked down by, like, a 40-year-old RDA, bro. And then after that, his instincts, you know, his crotch, this dude's a real crotch sniffer. His crotch sniffer instincts come in. He runs at the dude and just hugs him. Hugs him, smushes against the fence, just kind of lays on him, breathes on him heavy. He's a heavy breather. And yeah, you put him against a guy with good takedown defense and hands, he'd fuck him. Like, Islam knocks him out. I think Arman knocks him out. Charles knocks him out. Dustin knocks him out. Justin Gaethje, like this dude is a fraud. And honestly, hot take, I think Michael Chandler would knock this I think Michael Chandler would knock this guy the fuck out. He has no way of finishing fights, dude. He just lays on you and prays that he can win a decision. That just doesn't work against these elites of elites, bro. And let me get to underrated, because I know a lot of you guys already hate this. You think Michael Chandler's overrated right now. Because a big knock on him is like his best wins like Colby or his losses. And that's true, and I don't give a shit. That's true, and that's based. Like, this dude should be comfortably, he's at the 6. I think Mateus Gamrot's at the 5. He should be at the 5. And it's because when he fights lower level competition like Tony, and this was before Tony completely was off the edge. This was when Tony was still ranked decent. And a guy like Dan Hooker, he's going to run through guys like that. It's only against guys like fucking, for example, Charles, Gaethje, and Poirier, his 3 losses, where he struggled with. And in those fights, he's found tons of success. He almost finished all 3 of those guys, actually, and probably would have some wins if he wasn't such a fucking retard. But the problem is he just can't break through fully. He's a fucking ball of muscle, freak athleticism, you know what I'm saying? Good power, good wrestling. But it's just like he just can't fucking tie it all together, you know what I mean? But that's against the championship guys. That's against like the 3 best dudes in the fucking weight class, basically. And I know Arman's better right now, and Islam's better right now, but I'm talking about like, those are like the fucking best of the best at lightweight, and people think this guy shouldn't be there. I'm telling you, if Michael Chandler fought a guy like fucking Fiziev or Moicano, even though I like Moicano, or fucking Turner, he would knock them the fuck, he would make quick work of him. It's just that, it's just he gets underrated because he has a negative record in the UFC, but it's like, that just happens because he's fighting the best of the best, you know what I mean? He's never had time to farm up against cans. So that's why I think he's underrated, you know what I mean? Like, people think this dude should be outside of the top 5. It's stupid. Oh, I already know I'm going to get hate for this. 170, fan favorite Kevin Holland's overrated, and Colby Covington's underrated. All right, let me kick it off with Kevin Holland. I know this guy's a fan favorite, and I like him. I like that this dude's down to fight whenever. He doesn't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? I just like to fight. I don't give a fuck about the belt, even though I think that I don't give a fuck about the belt thing's stupid. You know, he's funny, he's a cool dude, so I get why people like him. But the fact that this dude's still ranked is just fucking laughable. I'll just say that. And honestly, he's just so overrated by fucking, it's mainly just casuals who like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I swear to God, I saw a fucking comment that said this, and you guys are gonna think I'm making this up, but it's like contender Izzy versus like Kevin Holland if he gave a fuck. Kevin Holland with a full camp, and it's like, and I commented like Izzy would kill this guy in a minute, and they're like, I know, but like that fight would still be fun. No, it wouldn't, dude. He'd get fucking starched, and he gets starched by any fucking guy who's like in the top 10 that he's fought. Like, let me show you the Kevin Holland cycle. He beats a bunch of cans while talking shit. He gets a bunch of hype. He gets fucking up to like he gets a fight against like a goodly ranked dude, like a top 10 dude, for example, Wonder Boy, Hamza, Brunson, Vettori, like all those dudes who are like getting up there, just gets fucking starched. Fights aren't competitive, and he just gets outclassed. And you saw this too with Michael Page too, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even think Michael Page is going to make it far in the division. It's just like, I don't think he's good. Like, and there's a bunch of dudes outside the ranking who I think would honestly give him a tough fight or beat him. That Jamaican dude, Randy Brown, I think Nicholas Dalby, even a guy like Gunnar Nelson, I honestly might take him in that fight. But this is why I mean he's overrated. People like this, I don't give a fuck mentality about him that I think is cope for him just not being able to hang with the best of the best. Creates this thing in people's minds where it's like, if he tried, he could be a top 5 contender. I've seen that a ton. Like Kevin Holland, if he tries, he beats a top 5 contender. Like, fuck no. Honestly, every single ranked person, except for maybe Vicente Luque, who's still ranked because he's fucking retarded now, I guess, I think they do bad things to him, honestly. And when we compare that to our underrated guy, Colby Covington, like Colby Covington runs through a guy like Holland. Let me just say that now. And the reason why Colby's underrated is because people like think fucking Gary would whoop his ass. People think Gary would whoop his ass. I've seen people say Thompson would whoop his ass. I've seen people say Buckley would whoop his ass. And that's the same thing kind of as the Michael Chandler effect. He has a lot of losses recently, but that's because he's fighting the best of the best, bro. Like against Usman peak, Usman air, all that shit. Dude, in that first fight, he was winning 3-1 until Usman clipped him. And you can argue late stoppage, you can't. Point is, Colby won that majority of the fight. And I'm not saying Colby won. I'm not coping like that. Obviously, he got fucking TKO'd. But my point is, he was really with him. He was really with him, and he gave Usman his toughest fights outside of the Leon Edwards third fight. And then the rematch with Usman, at worst, he tied. And in my opinion, he beat Usman. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the judges are on that night, Colby Covington's a world champion. And then in the Leon fight, he got his ass whipped. I'll be honest. But he didn't get like shown levels because what happened was Leon just did just enough to win. It's not like Colby was out there getting embarrassed. He was just slow and honestly just looked like he had ring rust because he isn't fighting anymore. And it's because of that, because he has L's in a row, you know what I'm saying? But he's showing this again. I'm telling you, he's shown this time and time again. You put him against a guy like fucking Masvidal, or like Lawler, or Tyron Woodley, a little bit out of prime. But you put him against guys that aren't the best of the best, and he's gonna fucking whoop their ass. He's gonna dominate them for 5 minutes. That's what he did all the way up until when he was fighting for belts, bro. That's why he has so many title shots. And I'll just tell you right now, it is my opinion that if Colby Covington fought Ian Gary, he would run through. Like, I'll just name you guys that, like, how can you argue that Colby wouldn't just ragdoll them? Gary, Thompson, Neil, Buckley, and even like Sean Brady. You know what I'm saying? Like, Colby Covington runs through them. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, I see a lot of people thinking that like bottom of the fucking barrel guys like Buckley would fucking beat him, or Jeff Neal. Like I don't understand this shit. Outside of Marab, Colby's like the fucking poor man's Marab. And like the poor man's Marab, he's just outside of that championship level, which people don't think he's anywhere near anymore. So I think that's bullshit. All right, middleweight 185, overrated, we have Israel Adesanya. Underrated, we have Kyle Barral. And I shit on Izzy all the time, in my opinion, for good reason. But the reason why I'm saying, like, how can he be overrated when you hate him so much? He's overrated because he just opened as a fucking favorite over Duplessis on like all the sites I've looked up, bro. And before you start hitting me with some MMA math bullshit, dude, just stop. Like, Duplessis did better against Strickland, and he's a good style matchup for Izzy. Because the thing about Izzy, like, I'll just say this right now, if you're stronger than Izzy, you're taking him down. And there's this big fucking misconception that in their first fight, Alex Pereira got out-grappled by Izzy. No, Izzy was 1 for 4 on takedowns, and his one takedown was Alex's takedown that he just reversed because Alex doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and Alex got a takedown on Izzy. Is that because Alex Pereira shoots a masterful fucking double leg, or he can hit a really good ankle pick? No, it's just because he's fucking stronger than him. You saw this with Jan. You know, Jan fucking literally just laid on top of this dude for 5 fucking rounds. Even a guy like Kevin Gastelum took him down. You know what I'm saying? Like, a guy like Duplessis, I think he can stand with him on the feet. I think he has enough power. And I think Duplessis is going to whoop on the ass. I think he's going to give him a fucking beating, bro. He's lost 3 out of the last 5 fights he's fought. Like, he robbed Whitaker, stunk it up against Cannonier, got fucking chinned by Alex, KO'd Alex, fair enough. And then he just got dominated by Strickland. Like, his striking, it's getting exposed year in and year out. He also lost to Yoel. And honestly, I'd say it's getting scary once Izzy gets out of these top guys who only have striking. Like a guy like Hamzat, boy, if Hamzat ever fights Izzy, he's running through him and subbing him in the first round, bro. I don't care. Like, I think Izzy, Sean, Hamzat, Whitaker right now, maybe even a fucking Brendan Allen beats this guy. And the point is he's still elite. But if you're opening against the champion as a favorite, and I don't think you can be any of those guys, you're overrated. Compare that to our underrated guy, Kalbar Hall. You know, you just saw this dude on 301, was looking like a beast fighting nerd. This dude's undefeated in the UFC on like a fucking, he's on a 15-fight win streak. He's a super well-rounded guy, very well-rounded for this middleweight division. He's obviously very physically like imposing, a strong dude. But like, I know for such a big dude, Paulo Costa looking motherfucker, like he's really agile though. Like on the ground, he's really fucking good. He's able to get into good positions, take the back. And once he gets into a dominant position, he's gonna fucking put the work in. This ain't no scammer, just lay on you, just stink it up. No, he is gonna fucking whoop your ass. You know, he has good counters and he's pretty defensively sound, you know what I'm saying? And even if he gets taken down, he can reverse the position pretty well. He's decent off his back. He's just a really well-rounded, underrated dude. And I don't even know if he's ranked yet. And if he is ranked, it's fucking outside of the top 10. I think he beats a decent amount of guys in the top 10. Like, for example, Hermanson, fuck no. Mavov, he runs through. All right, moving on to light heavyweight 205. We have overrated is Khalil Roundtree Jr. and underrated is Alexander Rakic. I'll just say this right now. Khalil Roundtree, I made a whole video on why I think Jamal Hill is going to fucking knock him out. But anyway, let's get into it. He has just some of the worst fight IQ I've ever seen. First of all, I mean, you're going against Anthony Smith, the guy who can't defend leg kicks, and that's his whole fucking weakness. And you're supposed to be the Muay Thai fucking guy, like the Muay Thai legend, and you don't throw a single leg kick? Are you fucking retarded? And fair enough, he beat Anthony Smith, which isn't really a good win. Like, it's a decent win, you know what I'm saying? Anthony Smith is still a fringe top 10. And the thing about Khalil, he has good success against these fat fucking light heavyweights who should be fucking welterweights. You know what I'm saying? He can beat up on those cans. They're already shorter than him, so he can just kick at range, stay on the outside, you know, burst in occasionally. But when he had to fight a guy around his size like Dustin Jacoby, he lost. He got outstruck for 2 of the rounds. Judges, as usual, have their heads up their asses. They're fucking watching Pornhub instead of the fights. But I strongly think Dustin Jacoby beat him in that fight. And the reason why he's overrated is he's fighting a guy like fucking Jamal Hill, whose only loss besides a fluke Paul Craig loss was against Alex Pereira, bro, the fucking number 3 pound for pound guy. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy like I'm telling you, once this dude gets in the top 5, he gets smoked. Alex, Yuri, Ankalaev, Hill, Blachowicz, and Rakic all fucking smoke this guy. Alexander Rakic, honestly, I think this dude might be one of the most underrated guys in the whole of the UFC. So he's 6-9 in the UFC, which isn't fucking that impressive, but once you look at that, he really hasn't had many losses. His quote-unquote loss, you can't see me air quotes right now, to Ozdemir was just a complete robbery. Like 7 out of the 8 meet, I think only one dude had it for Ozdemir. The rest had it for Rakic. A couple of people had him winning all of the rounds. 85% of people who fucking watched that fight thought Rakic won. He literally landed more strikes each round and had a takedown. Like, I don't understand how you can fucking give that to Ozdemir. And then his other loss to Jan, like a lot of people don't know, he was up on Jan, and this was Jan prime. This was like basically prime Jan before he had a freak accident and he just completely blew out his knee, which had him lost. You know, his only loss is to Yuri Prohaska, who's the number 1 contender. And against Yuri, he was fucking piecing Yuri up, and I was rooting for Yuri, and I was scared as fuck because I was like, holy shit, this dude has great fundamentals. He's looking crisp. He's looking technically sound. He's looking all this shit. You know, he's a well-rounded fighter, and he got caught with Yuri's fucking samurai bullshit craziness. Fair enough. Feels like Yuri can basically do it to everyone. But that's his one loss. He's undefeated, in my opinion, in the UFC, except for that. You know, he's a really technically sound guy, and I think on any given night, he beats everyone in the division except for Alex. Like, I'm telling you, this dude you saw, he can hang with Yuri. If he doesn't get clipped there, and I know that's easy to say, but I'm saying he was tearing fucking Yuri up. Yuri was looking fucking hurt, fucked up his mobility, all that shit. Like, I think he can beat Hill. And as far as guys below him, like, he would just do... He would get jailed for what he would do to guys like Johnny Walker, or a rematch with Ozdemir. Or even like a Khalil Roundtree Jr., this guy would fucking smoke him. He's ranked number 6 right now. Any given night, he's ranked number 1 right outside of Alex. All right, heavyweight 265. We have Cyril Gane, overrated. Marcos de Lima, underrated. Cyril Gane, where do I start? Maybe my least favorite fucking fighter right now. Just real quick to get you on the fucking Gane hate bandwagon. The UFC offered Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall for the interim belt. Cyril Gane declined. Tom said yes, Gane declined. Whatever, fuck him. Is that surprising? No, he knows he would get absolutely smoked by fucking real heavyweight elites. because the only heavyweights, quote unquote, elites he's beaten was against Sergey Spivak, who literally looked like a fucking robot out there. You know those red and blue robots where they both just go in the middle and you just press the lever and they both just fucking hit each other? That's what Spivak does. He just stands still, tries to trade, and just gets pounded, bro. And even then, he couldn't get him the fuck out of there, even though this dude's just shoved up on the fence, literally just saying, oh, hit me, please, please. Get Mark Goddard, the dude who calls everything early, to end this fight. Took him probably like fucking 20 fucking hammer fists, 20 strikes, while the dude's standing up. And boy, if you have any sort of grappling at all, this dude's fucked. You know, when Francis Ngannou can take you down at will, wet blanket you and all that shit, you think going against John Jones, you'd be like, fuck, dude, maybe I should train my takedown defense. Maybe I should train getting off my back. Maybe I should train my Clearly he trained nothing, because John Jones went out there fucking fat man as ever, just wadded across the cage, took him down, fucked him, submitted him. Like a guy like Tom Aspinall or Curtis Blades or even Jailton Almeida, I honestly think beat this guy. Like, I think everyone outside of Jailton Almeida finishes him. I know Tom Aspinall would literally finish him in the first round on the feet too. But then it's like you break down his good wins, and his good wins are supposed to be fucking fat man Tai Tuivasa, who he had trouble against and was getting clipped, and against fat man Derek Lewis, who are both barely top 10, if not outside of the top 10. And it's like, you wonder where this dude's hype even came from. And his whole thing is he's fast, but the thing is, he's fast, but he doesn't have the heavyweight fucking power like a fast heavyweight should. Because against Spivak, this dude literally couldn't finish him. I'm telling you, rewatch that fight and you're like, holy fuck, does Spivak have the chin of God, or does Ngannou just have no power? Because the dude's literally just sitting there waiting to be fucking hit. And Ngannou can barely get him out of there. And boy, I was so mad when this dude got fluked by Derek Lewis, bro, with his flying knee, which it's like, dude, I guess whatever. If you don't want to say that's not fluky, whatever, I don't give a shit. But even then, he showed he had a good chin there, because, you know what I'm saying, you eat a flying knee, and then you ate a bunch of shots on the ground, and eventually had to get it called off. But one thing about this guy, he's super well-rounded. He has really good fundamentals, really solid. If he can get you on the cage, if he can muscle you out there in the clinch, you're probably fucked. He has a really good ground game, especially for like fat heavyweights go. Like, obviously his ground game doesn't compare to a guy like Aspinall or Jones, but I'm telling you, like, I think he's barely ranked. Like, any unranked guy, this dude's completely fucking, and any ranked heavyweight who's really just fat and shouldn't be a heavyweight, he's getting him out of there. And I know you know about his leg kicks, or I hope you would, after he fucking leg kicked TKO Junior Tafa, one of the fucking Tafa bros. Even though it was on one day notice, he still fucking went in there with those fucking big ass legs and just chopped him down like a tree, bro. I'm telling you, only elite heavyweights, like really skilled heavyweights, will get this dude out of there. Only the best of the best heavyweights are really getting this dude out of there consistently, or like finish him easily. He's really well-rounded. I honestly think he beats Tai Tuivasa. I think he beats Derek Lewis in a rematch. And I honestly think he gives a guy like Marcin Tybura, or whatever the fuck his name is, the dude with the fucked hairline, I think he gives him a tough fight. I think he's pretty underrated. Flyweights, I know you guys thought I forgot about them. It's like, no, I put them at the end because no one gives a shit, and everyone clicks off if they see a fucking flyweight at the start. It's going to piss a lot of more people off. Overrated, we got Manel Kape, the fan favorite, and underrated, we have Tatsu Taira. Manel Kape, I like this dude, but I don't know how many fucking people I've seen see this guy, oh, he's the dark horse for the flyweight champion. This guy's a dark horse to be champ. Dude, what? Like, what the fuck? It's like, no, dude, no. Just because he calls a dude a fag in his post fight and everyone thinks he's funny, and I do think he's funny. And I would like him to be champion in terms of he's one of the only flyweights with a personality. But, you know, I get why people like him. You know, he's good on the feet, he's a good striker, you know, he's pretty exciting, obviously exciting on the mic. He's not horrible on the ground, but he's not great. He hasn't really developed much of a ground game. Here's the thing. If you're an unranked guy, or if you're a bottom of the barrel ranked guy, Kape's going to get you out of there. He's going to fucking knock you the fuck out, run through you. Like I'm telling you, I'm not saying Manel Kape's going to lose to unranked guys you never heard of, but I'm telling you, once he's gotten to the ranks, he's had okay performances, like against Dvorak and Felipe Dos Santos. Like, he couldn't finish them. He had to decision them. Like, I just don't understand how people can say this guy, like, has a chance to become the champion. Like, please just explain to me how this dude beats Pantoja, Moreno, Urseg, even a guy like, and honestly, and I think he fucking loses to Kai Kara France, and I'm telling you, I wish he'd whoop that Elf's ass so bad. I hate Kai Kara France, and unfortunately, as this is going to be, I think Makhaev's going to beat this dude. I think he's going to wet blanket him. Just kind of smush him for all the rounds and then just kind of embarrass him, which sucks. I like Kape, and I hope he proves me wrong, because the flyweight needs a little bit of juice. But I don't think I'm wrong. I think he's pretty overrated just because he's a fan favorite. Underrated, and soon to not be underrated, because if I do believe right, I think he just got a fight booked with Alex Perez. Anyway, Tatsuro Taira, for you that don't know, because he's a 125er, he's undefeated fighting out of Japan. He has insane wrestling, like just actually next level. Really good top control. When he's on top of a guy, he looks like a wizard. Wait, pause, bro. But anyway, you already know, elite grappler. But here's the thing that actually made me fucking be like, oh shit, dude. In his recent fight against that Hernandez guy, he showed he had some knockout power. He fucking chinned the dude and has power in flyweight, which honestly not a lot of dudes do. And if you do, you're probably shooting up those flyweight rankings. I don't even know if he's ranked, and if he is, he's fucking barely, like probably at best like 13th ranked. And it makes sense that I saw the comments being like, a number 5 guy going against the number 13th guy, what the hell? It's like, dude, do you really want him to fight a guy like fucking number 10th or 11th? Like, I'm telling you, you put this guy in front of Matt Schnell is gonna need to get zipped up because he's leaving in a body bag. Point is, this dude's gonna be a top 5 flyweight. He's not really on a lot of dudes' radar. He might be, but obviously it's another thing, he's just flyweight, so it's like, fuck them, am I right? I mean, fuck it, how can I talk? I have them at the end of the video for a reason. And you know, this dude with his wrestling and that power, like a guy like Makaev, I don't think Makaev is just going to be able to wet blanket this dude. I think he goes out there and he fucking puts the work in and just whoops on that ass. No diddy. And I know I didn't go into in depth, but it's like, fuck, dude, I got to talk about fucking 16 fighters, and I don't, unless you guys do, let me know. I don't think you want to see a fucking 40-minute vid. The second best fighter in the world can be overrated if everyone thinks he's the best. Y como siempre, gracias al suscriber, maestro de la suerte. Just fucking with you. I mean, il Tapore yet. When I do go to Spain, I will knock his ass out. But anyway, and as always, thank you to the subscriber, Master of Luck, for recommending this video. So, as always, you know the drill by now. Hopefully, most of you. If you got video ideas, comment them, because I'll probably make a video on it. I'm always looking for ideas, or he's looking for new shit to do. So, let me know. But once again, it's John Does MMA. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you want to see in the comments. And until next time, y'all are the best. We're at 500 subs. Fuck yeah. Just like, I think less than a week ago, we were at like 50. So, you know, it's just crazy. Thanks so much.